Rich Herrera, joined by a very special guest, the head coach of the Cal Golden Bears, Justin Wilcox, our guest here at Wildcats Radio 1290. Coach, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, Rich?
I'm great. You know what? We are just sitting down with Daniel Scott.
Yep.
He's the old man of this team.
He is, man. He and I have been there the same amount of time.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yep.
For you looking at him and, a leader,
Yep.
real mature, there's something special about him. How proud are you of him being part of that first class and then everybody else that's come along? And
Yep.
we talked about this last night. Football is about making great men and leaders.
Yeah, and he is a prime example. I mean, Daniel, I think he came in, I got hired in mid-January, and I want to say 2 weeks later he was on his official visit, and he came to Cal. And I think it just his story and the way it's gone for him is really impressive, especially in this day and age of, transfers and, maybe guys taking a easier route sometimes. Daniel came in, he redshirted. He worked his way to get on a couple special teams. He wasn't like a starting safety when he walked in the door, and has grown on and off the field just throughout his time. And to see him where he is now, unquestioned leader of the team and a heck of a player and just a super guy. I mean, it's just been a lot of fun to watch him.
Well, that's been one of the things that's been constant for the California Golden Bears. The other has been Chase Garbers, who seemed like he was at Cal for, 185 years. But finally, he's gone on. He was the dean of quarterbacks. Give me a preview of what we're going to see quarterback-wise for Cal.
Yeah, well, a couple guys that have separated themselves, and a couple guys from Arizona.
Yeah.
Jack Plummer, who transferred in from Purdue, had a really strong spring. He can throw the ball. He's a very smart guy. He's played college football before and played at a high level. Kai Milner's a very talented young man. He's really made a big jump from his first year to second year. I think that's been noticeable, and we'd expect him to continue to grow as a player. And we really like both those guys. And
wide receiver core looks like you're pretty deep. With some guys that can make plays.
Yeah, we're going to be young, pretty inexperienced with that group, but they have talent. And so it's a matter of kind of how quickly we can grow up and create that rhythm on offense, obviously starting with the offensive line, then the QB and those receivers. But we feel strongly that those guys can make some explosive plays for us.
And like everybody else's conference, it comes down to the big fellas up front in the trenches. Maybe not as much depth as you've had in years past, but there's some talent.
Yeah. Offensive line, there's going to be some new faces, and we're going to have to come together quick at O-line. We got a couple new guys, a couple transfers there who are really eager to get to work with here starting in fall camp. And then on the defense, the interior D-line we do feel very good about. Brett Johnson's coming back off an injury. Some more young players, but some talented guys. And so if we can kind of create some chemistry early on the field, I think it's going to bode well for us. But I know they've had a really, really good summer, and looking forward to starting practice Friday.
What are we going to see defensively from Cal?
Well, hopefully we play really good defense. We've had our moments. Last year we had some really good games on defense. We need to get better on third and long, so we're going to spend a fair amount of time working on that. And we're going to have some new faces in the secondary, some talented guys, but going to have some inexperience. So having Daniel back there will be a big help.
Since we're talking down in Tucson, I wanted to talk about last year's game. Again, Arizona won one game last year. It was against the shorthanded Cal Golden Bear team. I was talking to one of the Arizona players, it was tough because Cal had so many guys out and the COVID thing really hit. And then he was pointing out, we had some stuff. We were down to no quarterbacks halfway through that game. That was a game that I think everybody learned something. You guys had some people that were put in positions they had never been in before. How did that game help grow your team?
Well, I appreciate the efforts of all the guys that went down there and competed, because there was, a lot of guys that hadn't played, moved positions, coaches that weren't on the road with us. So it was really a team effort. I mean, truly everybody chipping in, and we didn't get it done. And Arizona beat us on that day, and so it's frustrating that we didn't, make enough plays to win the game. But I truly appreciate the guys and the way that the team came together and gave it their best shot.
Because it could have been, you were so close. It could have been almost tapping out and not being able to play that game. So having guys go out there and just do everything they could. And like you said, guys were lining up in places they hadn't played before. coaches were doing things they hadn't done before. I think it's a testament to your team that you guys rallied around it and played such a hard-fought game that came down to the waning moments.
Yeah, and again, I just kind of go back to the character of the guys on the team and the people in the program, that we weren't looking for a way out. We were looking for a way in, and kind of whatever it took. And I remember, the night before the game, we kind of talked about all that and how, we're going to have to be flexible and everybody's going to have to chip in, and whether it's guys playing different positions or playing on certain special teams or whatever it might be that they might not have had any experience with. And coaches, I mean, we had, a number of coaches that were out, so we had some GAs and other folks, managers helping us. So it was certainly a team effort, and I wish we could have found a way to win it, but Arizona beat us on that day.
Let's talk a little bit about being here at Pac12 Media Day. What's it like when all the coaches get together and you get a chance to have an afternoon like this?
Yeah, it's a busy day. I mean, certainly Pac-12 Media Day is, I think that people have called it the car wash. I mean, You kind of run the gamut, but there's really good coaches in our conference. They're good guys, and it's good to catch up with them. But everybody's, you can tell, itching to get back and be with their teams.
Is there anybody that you're close with? Anybody? Like I sat next to you at dinner last night, and boy, what a treat! I get to hang out with Mike Bellotti. I mean, that's one of those things. I'm going to tell that story about talking to Mike Bellotti about my son for the longest time, because talk about a God coaching tree that comes out of Oregon.
Yeah.
You're part of it. That's a special group of people.
Yeah, it was fun seeing all the people, that kind of surround the Pac-12 conference, and Coach Bellotti being down here. I get to see him maybe once or twice a year, and I played for him. He was my coach when I was a player, and he, it's just nice to catch up with him and kind of check in and then talk football and, teams and offense and defense. So that was a lot of fun.
Cal's a special place. And I know there was lots of speculation. What is Coach Wilcox going to do? What is Coach Wilcox going to do? But I know you're committed to Cal. They're committed to you. Why is Cal such a special place for you?
I really enjoy the players I get to coach there, the staff that I get to work with. It's great to have the support of our AD and Chancellor, and we want to be the team that does it at Cal. And it's been a long time since they've been on the top, and we want to be that team. And we know there's challenges and all that, but I have conviction in our players and in our process, and we want to get it done. And so we spend every waking moment working towards winning a championship.
All right, I do have to ask you, because everybody else has asked you about this. I'll leave NIL. I'm not going to ask you about NIL, but just your thoughts on the future of this conference.
Yeah, I'm bullish on the Pac-12. And I know there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of meetings I'm not privy to, but we got great institutions. There's really good players out here. There's really good coaches, and so I know it feels a bit uncertain for a lot of folks, but from everything I've been told, that the chancellors and the ADs and the commissioner are having really, really positive talks, and I'll leave it up to them.
Does it feel like we're going to rally around each other? More so. That's kind of the feeling I got right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody, kind of, especially the traditionalists and all of us, want things to be as they were. However, we know things are changing, and but again, I feel like everybody feels strong about their individual institution and the Pac-12 and the West Coast, and so we just kind of have to keep our knees bent, because I think a lot still to
keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, there's a lot to be determined yet.
All right, let's finally talk about one last person who I think is probably the spirit animal of this entire conference, and particularly the Cal Golden Bears. The influence that Oxy Bernstein has on the Cal Golden Bears, on your ability to recruit. I don't know if I saw it on one of the message boards, but kids are like, I think I want to go to school where Roxy went.
Yeah, Roxy is a Cal Bear through and through. I've known him a long time. He's a passionate guy. And he knows. I mean, you don't want to get into a who knows more about Pac-12 history, Pac-10 history, Cal history with anybody, named Oxy Bernstein, because he knows all of it. So he's an impressive guy.
I mean, again, he supports all the schools. He calls the games, but he's got a special passion for Cal football, and I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, I do too, and we appreciate him. And I know he has a job to do, so we understand that, but there's no doubt where he comes from.
Absolutely. Between him and Bill Walton talking about the conference champions, they're probably our biggest cheerleaders, right?
Absolutely, and we need it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the narratives out there get spun this way and that way and the other. The Pac-12 has really good athletes, really good coaches. There's strong tradition and institutions in the Pac-12, and so that's why I'm very optimistic.
I am too. And by the way, thank you very much for letting me crash dinner last night and sit with you.
No, it was great.
That was a lot of fun. You, Yogi, and the entire Pac-12 Network crew. That was a special day. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward when Arizona heads up to Cal on September 24th. It's going to be a heck of a season, and I think the best is yet to come for the Pac-12.
I agree. Thanks, Rich.
Absolutely.
All
Thank
right.
you. We'll continue.